everybody trying to be content creators and trying to go viral. You want to go viral?
Okay, you want to go viral. Let's go viral then.
Say less.
Let go.
Let's embrace it. Let's love it. Let's enjoy it. And let's give them the experience of their life. That's Roswell for you, baby. Come together. And guys, this is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to share and dance like you just don't care. It's early in the morning. Let's have a day. And like I said, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS.
Good morning and welcome to Speaking Out Loud. I am your host, Rene Ruiz. And joining me here in just a few, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties as it is cold. What you guys just saw the temperature on there is showing 2 degrees. I don't know that we're used to that, and neither is John Borba's computer. So while he gets that situated, let's just kind of go over what we saw yesterday as the stage is set. The stage is officially set for the Super Bowl. We will have the New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks. And a couple weeks ago, we went over our bracket to see who was going to be our finale. And JB hit it nail right on the head. He told us he believes in Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks to not only win that first game, win the second game, and go ahead and set themselves up for a chance to win the greatest game on earth. And that would be the championship for the National Football League. So shout out to the Seattle Seahawks and the Patriots. Shout out Mario in the chat. Drake May is a scrub. Wow, Drake May is a scrub. I don't think so. Here's what's interesting about Drake May and that New England Patriots team. The last 3 games, their defense has been, I'd say, the one thing that we have to praise the most. We look at the first game of the playoffs, a wild card game. They won 16-3, only giving up 3 points to what we thought was a hell of an offense. Right, and then they go on and beat the Texans, the one team that most of us thought nobody wanted to play, but weather played its part, and it allowed the New England Patriots to get a massive victory, 28-16 over the Texans. I mean, look back, right? That snow was coming down heavy, and it was almost impossible to throw anything. And they had no running game at all for Houston, and also no running game for the Denver Broncos yesterday. Everybody was kind of waiting for J.K. Dobbins to show up and do his thing. Whenever Mario came on the show about 2 weeks ago, he told us, hey, at the beginning of the season when J.K. Dobbins was here, Bo Nix was being able to be elusive and whatnot, right? J.K. is just a little too late, I would say. A little too late. JB's got us here on the phone. What's up, JB?
Yo, I'm having technical difficulties, man. I can't get logged in.
All right, JB, let's reboot our computer and then jump back on, all right?
Yeah.
All right. I had JB on the phone there. He's trying to figure that whole thing out. His thing's warming up. It's cold, boys. It's cold. But yesterday's game against the Broncos, this is what I will say. Sean Payton's getting a lot of criticism about whether or not he should have kicked the field goal there with the field goal when it was 4th and 1 down in the red zone. He's getting crucified right now. Getting crucified. The one thing I asked Mario when he came on the show was, if there was a weakness, what would it be for the Denver Broncos? And he pointed directly to that running game, kind of insinuated missing J.K. Dobbins as he got hurt there early in the season. They were never able to get that running game going, so it did feel like that was going to come back and bite him in the tush. Shout out to Harvey doing his thing, but it just wasn't enough. Hopefully they can establish that next year. Obviously, losing your quarterback's never a good thing. Throughout the week, the media was kind of hyping up Jarrett Stidham, as they should. They should kind of feed the delusion to kind of make us feel like there's going to be a good game. And it was a good game to start off, right? Stidham goes down, scores. That offense looks like it might get moving. But as the weatherman forecasted, some snow to come in there in the second half, which is why Sean Payton is being crucified. It's like, did you not watch the weather? Did you not know that was going to come there in the second half? Tony Romo, if you listen to the broadcast, he was kind of insinuating what was about to happen there in the second half, and mainly in the fourth quarter, whenever he said that the Patriots, once they get it, it's going to be almost impossible for them to do anything going against the win. So how do you feel about Sean Payton's 4th and 1? I mean, obviously, you want to take the points in that situation. Hindsight playing itself out. It's easy to play Monday morning quarterback. But, I mean, Sean Payton, you get that. I think the play call, if anybody's frustrated with anything, is probably the play call on that play. You got to remember, although analytics says to go for it, we got to remember that analytics also doesn't know that they don't know who's at quarterback. They don't know of the difference between Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, or Jared Stidham. And that's the reality of what it is. And unfortunately, Sean Payton kind of outsmarted himself just a bit there going for it. And it may have cost him the game. But whenever your back's against the wall, this is where I will defend Sean Payton. It's like when your backs are against the wall, like you want to go get it. You want to go get it. You look back at that NFC game with Chicago against the Rams, right? The Bears go down and score in a Hail Mary pass, basically. A throw for desperation. Got it, landed, touchdown. Now you ask the question, why didn't Ben Johnson go for two? I mean, one of the loudest spokes on television was our buddy's name's Rex Ryan, right? Rex Ryan was probably one of the most critical about it. Why wouldn't you go out and win that game? And you do got to ask yourself that, especially in that situation against the team, against your opponent, which was the Rams, the best team in the league at that point, which we all thought. And you could still even make that argument after what we saw yesterday, but we're not going to do that. We're going to give credit to the Seattle Seahawks here in just a bit, but for the Broncos, it's like, hey, what a hell of a season, man. That's what, unfortunately, that was what was supposed to happen. Honestly, you should have gotten the brakes beat off of you guys. The fact that it was even a close game, that second half, I don't even know if that was football. I don't know that I would consider that football in the second half. The weather played its part, and it's so unfortunate because it would have been nice to see if the way that first drive came out with the Broncos, it would have been nice to see if they could have gotten anything going there in the second half after that defense kind of beats down on the offensive line. Like, how much pressure would they have been able to get on Drake May? But that second half of that first game, that wasn't football, man. That wasn't football. Come on. That was a blizzard. They're playing in a blizzard. It was almost impossible to throw the ball. That's why in the fourth quarter, I mean, it was almost like the Patriots were just kicking the ball back and just allowing time to tick off. And then you have that one play by Stidham, right? Where he kind of hesitated to throw the deep pass. You almost just want to throw it to give yourself a chance. Then comes back, does the same thing. They do the same play, damn near, and then he ends up throwing the pick. That was one of those where I bet Stidham's just like, damn, I wish I would have given him a chance the first time because he did have the step on him. Now, would they have gotten down and scored regardless? I don't know. In that weather, I'm telling you guys, that was not football. Watching that game made me just say a little prayer, like, please let the Seattle Rams game please do not let the weather impact this whatsoever. And luckily it didn't. Mario, apparently a lot of Denver meteorologists weren't expecting the big snowstorm. Drops were costly fourth in the league. Drops were costly fourth in the league in drops. Yeah, definitely got to make catches. The environment, though, obviously made it almost impossible. Like I said, it wasn't football there in the second half. And Mario, my only pushback is like the rest of the world knew that we were getting some crazy weather. 30 states were going to be affected, and Denver was part of them. I mean, even here in Roswell, New Mexico, we knew we were going to get some crazy weather, and we did. It's snowing. It's frozen outside. We're talking 2 degrees this morning. Crazy. The type of weather where you spill your coffee and all of a sudden you just spilt ice. So, like, for Sean Payton to have not known that, or I wonder if he even did know that. That's a crazy part. And if he didn't, that's a whole nother story. Because that's something I get that you would want to take into game planning. But ultimately, the reality of it is this was what was supposed to happen. The Broncos weren't supposed to go in that game and win it with the backup quarterback, no matter how much they hyped us up about it. And like I said, you talk yourself in through the week to as a fan, you talk yourself into it throughout the week to give yourself this delusional mindset that you actually do have a chance. And like we say, you do Monday through Wednesday, kind of do your research. Thursday, that research starts to kind of click in, and you're like, all right, here we go. Now we're rolling. All right, we do have a Super Bowl champ head coach. We do have a defense that's carried us this far. Why can't they carry us for one more game? Maybe Jared Stidham has been able to sit back and learn the playbook, and now he's mastered it. And maybe he can come out and give us 3 to 4, 5 massive throws that can win this game. And that's how close they were too. That's what's crazy. They were close, and it sucks because the weather played its part. And now you're asking a backup quarterback, a guy that hasn't had a snap in, what was it, like 233 or so many days, right? 2 years or something like that. Now we're expecting that backup guy to come and do something in this type of weather. It seems crazy. It's absurd. Craziness. But while we're on that game, New England Patriots win 10-7 in a flurry of snow. The number 2 seed gets to the Super Bowl. Drake May going 10 for 21, 86 yards. The first thing after this game, 47.6 completion rate. The first thing that I thought of after this game was like, man, I cannot wait to see this New England Patriots team in good weather. Because their defense has been able to carry them. With the bad weather, they've been able to just straight up man-to-man press, bring all the pressure in the world. Now it's going to be interesting to see how they play in nice weather. Can this offense get going? Because we haven't really seen anything. As much praise as people are giving Drake May, when you look back and just kind of watch the storyline play out for the New England Patriots in the playoffs, this has all been 100% on the defense. This New England Patriots defense has shown up like no other. I mean, think about this. 10 points and you won a game in the National Football League. How crazy is that? But now you got this 23-year-old Drake May who hasn't had a great postseason, hasn't had to. All he's had to do is manage the game. Almost gave it away against the Houston Texans, fumbling the ball multiple times. But they've figured out a way to win. And that has a lot to do with Mike Vrabel. And you got to think about this. The 2 teams in the Super Bowl didn't make the playoffs last year. And now they're in the freaking Super Bowl. So if you're a fan of any other team, you're looking at both of these 2 teams and the season that you just had. For example, the Dallas Cowboys, my team, the season that they just had. And now we're thinking like, wow, we could just flip this thing on its head too. Why not our organization? Cultures can be flipped overnight. All you have to do is bring all we have to do is bring the right players into the locker room, and we'll see immediate changes. Dallas Cowboys just hired their new DC from Philadelphia. Got to dig into the weeds to see whether or not how I feel about this. So far, I like it, but got to do a little bit of digging before I give a legitimate take on what our DC is going to be in Dallas. I need a little bit more time. I don't want to jump the gun, because the last thing I want to do is jump the gun and be excited about someone, and then what if they just end up being like Matt Eberflus, right? Then it'd be a waste of talent next year. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's see what JB says. His laptop, that thing's like a dinosaur, I think. But Drake May, 23 years old, 162 days old, will be the second youngest quarterback to start in the Super Bowl. He would trail only Hall of Famer Dan Marino, who was 23 years old and 127 days in 1984, where he lost the Super Bowl versus San Francisco's. May is the youngest quarterback to ever win a road conference championship. There's going to be a lot of praise on our televisions on Drake May. But guys, let's not be blinded. The real MVPs of this Patriots team is that defense. The Patriots will be playing in their 12th Super Bowl, the most of all time, and 4 more Super Bowl appearances than any other franchise. That's nuts. Let me read that for you again. The Patriots will be playing in their 12th Super Bowl, the most all time, and 4 more Super Bowl appearances than any other franchise. Bro, 4 more than any other franchise. Shout out Robert Kraft. Shout out Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft really out here doing it, man. Robert Kraft really out here doing it. That is crazy. Let's see. The Pittsburgh Steelers, San Francisco 49ers, Dallas Cowboys, and Denver Broncos, each with 8 appearances. This marks their first Super Bowl appearance since 2018, when they defeated the Rams 13-3. Interesting. Man, that's crazy. The most all-time, 4 more, 12 Super Bowls. That is crazy, bro. That is nuts. I'm so blown away, man. That's crazy. This defense from the Patriots, man. I love them boys. Them boys have been fun. Christian Gonzalez, I got a pick yesterday. Man, what a dog. Not sure if he's a Spanish brother, but I do like the last name there. Let's see. Christian Gonzalez faced a team-high 7 targets in coverage in the Patriots Conference Championship win over the Broncos, allowing 4 receptions for 70 yards, while also recording eventual game-sealing interception with 2:18 remaining in regulations. Man, Buddy had himself a game. Christian Gonzalez primary matched up against Cortland Sutton 21 times, limiting Sutton to 2 receptions for 11 yards on 4 targets. You tell me if that's shut down. Feels like he definitely shut his ass down. But of course, like I said, I don't want to take away from the fact that it was a goddamn blizzard in the second half. Gonzalez only allowed 52 of his 70 yards in coverage on a deep pass hauled in by Marvin Mims, making his 5th deep reception he has allowed this season, 20 plus air yards, including the playoffs. Man, for that Broncos team, like I know the running game is a whole thing, but we also got to look at who they're throwing to, right? Mario in the chat here is saying they led the league or they're 4th in league in drops. Like you got to go and think that this team is going to go out and get a solid wide receiver, right? We got to assume that the Denver Broncos are going to go out and get a wide receiver this offseason to help out because whenever you have that many drops, man, when you got that many drops, I don't know. I don't know how your quarterback ever really builds confidence. And maybe that's why we saw Bo Nix kind of running all the time. That's why we saw his explosiveness with his feet. Right? So if you're the Broncos this offseason, I think what you're looking for is wide receivers. Is a solid one wide receiver. Now, who's that? That's a good question. Do they get him in the draft? Or do they go out and make a trade for like an AJ Brown? Or right? It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But dang, man, let me bring in the man with the buys, the man with the tries, the one, the only, John Borba. Johnny,
What's going on, man? I don't know how I'm sounding. How am I sounding?
you sound like you're on the phone. But
Okay. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
it's gonna have
One of
to.
those.
Have to do.
I think the computer. It's time to upgrade the computer. So
You got a dinosaur over there.
yeah, I think it's time to get everything upgraded. So
Well, there's
yeah,
JB. A couple obstacles were put right in front of you today, but it was all just to set up what a great day that you're going to have from this moment moving forward. Not because you were blessed to wake up this morning, but because the Lord blessed you with another year on earth, JB. Happy
yeah.
birthday to John Borba. Happy birthday, JB.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Borba. Happy birthday to you.
Yes,
Borba, make a wish.
sir.
Close your eyes, make a wish, my brother. Let's make
Hey,
this come true.
thank you guys. Yep. Thank you guys for the support and birthday wishes and everything like that. And on to another year. On to another year, bigger blessings, everything like that. So
And this
let's
year
do it.
will be your best year, JB. So shout out to
Yep.
you. How old are we?
Man, 34.
This is our Shaq year. This is the year that we dunk on everything. Anything that's put
Yep.
in our way, we just think of Shaquille O'Neal, are the most dominant center in the world, JB. So anytime you come up to some obstacle in life, what we're gonna do is we're gonna dunk on that damn thing like we're Shaquille O'Neal.
Yep.
This is your Shaquille O'Neal year. We dunk on everything. Anything that comes,
Yep.
we dunk on, JB. So shout out 34. It looks good on you, brother. It looks good on you, JB. I
Appreciate
was
it.
talking about this Broncos Patriots game 10-7. Wasn't really football there in the second half. Mario's in the chat here. I'm sure you can see a couple comments that he came with. Let me hit you with a couple that he's informed us with. Drake May's a scrub. Whoa, let's relax. Sacked 15 times, 6 fumbles, 2 interceptions. And then he said lack of run game and decent weapons hurt Denver. I'll kind of agree outside the fact that, you also had Jared Stidham in the backfield. Like JB said on that beautiful promo video that he dropped for you guys last week. Jared Stidham, that's what we're going to bring out. Jared Stidham. And then lastly, he says he's always been aggressive. His ego gets to him at times. Vance Joseph deserves his flowers and a pay raise. That Denver defense ain't no joke. They played hard all game long. Denver fans now appreciate Bo Nix more than ever.
You know,
Agreeing with that statement.
my thing is like Jared Stidham. I mean, essentially, like the biggest game was just that blown backwards pass. You know, the fumble and everything like that. That leads to a touchdown, and then you give up 3 points. Like ultimately, yeah, the quarterback is what kind of lost him. That was the biggest play of the game, right? So I think the quarterback did kind of lose them that game in that sort of sense. Stidham really, he had a couple couple things go his way, a couple things look good, but yeah, I mean, to only score 10 points. I mean, the weather kicked in, and it was a whole new ball game. But it was pretty much just survival mode at that point. Who's going to play clean? But here's the thing. Jared Stidham lost that game, but Drake May won them that game as well. Drake May did his part, and Drake May's played clean football. He played clean football that game, and if he would have made one mistake that probably leads to points for the Broncos, and it could have been a completely different ball game. It could have been something that went into overtime. They could have won by a field goal, anything like that. So Drake May, you have to give him his props because he did play a clean game. And when it mattered the most, you get him out on a QB rollout, and one-on-one made the dude miss and got enough for a first down. Like that's what it came down to. I mean, Drake May did what he had to do. He understood. Like, this is what I was talking about like what Jalen Hurts does. He understands the moment. He understands the assignment. Like, I need to do what I need to do to win. I'm not gonna be throwing over here for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns in this weather, in this snow weather game. I think he just did what he needed to do. Like, when his number was called, that biggest play of the game, to get that first down and essentially go to the Super Bowl, that's exactly what he did. And that's all you can ask for, right? That's really all you can ask for. So I think he did what he needed to do, and he's been playing against top 5 defenses all playoffs long, and he's won 3. Yeah, and now he's about to play another really good defense. But yeah, I think Drake May, he's done what he's needed to do to win, and he hasn't put up great numbers. But this is also the dude's 22 years old, something like that. I mean, making his first playoff appearance. Like, come on, and it would have been the same instance for Bo. It would have been the same instance for Bo. But as far as like what I saw Stidham do, like throwing the ball, like ball wise in like the first half, is it really that much of a difference from Stidham to Bo throwing the ball? Like, I don't know if Bo's in the game. Is it still the same outcome? I really don't see that much of a arm talent difference from Stidham to Bo Nix. All I see is more athleticism from Bo Nix.
Yeah, but that athleticism could have gotten them pretty far, especially in that weather. That's the only thing I was thinking about. Whenever you sent that in the group chat and said, would this game have been any different if it was Bo Nix? My first thought was like, the only reason I think it would have was because he would have used his legs. Like on that 4th and 1, maybe they could have ran a similar play like what New England ran to end the game, kind of just allowing Bo Nix to get to the outside and race for the first down. Obviously, small plays like that could have made the biggest difference. But to go into next year, I think if you're a Denver Broncos fan, let me know if you agree with me here. But I feel like you feel pretty good about going into next year, assuming that Bo Nix does have a full recovery and he comes out looking similar. I just wonder, like with the broken leg, it was the ankle, right? I believe with the broken leg. I mean, if I look back, the first thing that I think about too is like with Dak Prescott, whenever he broke his leg, it seems like he never came back the same athleticism wise. I wonder if that's going to stunt Bo Nix's progression as a quarterback in NFL. Like, now he's going to have to become more of a passer than being able just to get to the outside and beat guys with his speed.
I think with a broken ankle, like, you can still recover from it, but I think you're going to have to spend a few weeks, possibly even like the entirety of next year, thrusting in your arm a little bit more. Like, you're still going to have that injury in the back of your head. So like, you're not going to be, I don't think he's going to be scrambling or moving as much as he did this year, because I think it's going to take over a year for something like that to feel comfortable again. Because like, we see it all the time. Like when Kirk Cousins tore his ACL, goes to Atlanta, he was not trusting that torn Achilles to put his weight on to throw the ball. So his throws didn't have the velocity, didn't have the oomph that it used to have. And then this year he gets that back. After about a year and a half, 2 years, you'll start to get that confidence back in your body and what it can do again. So I think that's what it is. I think that's what it's going to be. He's going to I think he'll 100% recover. It's just, I don't know how confident he's going to feel moving around and scrambling on that foot again. I don't think there's not going to be that many designed runs like how there kind of was this year for Bo. But this is a chance for him to kind of take that next step and become a better timing thrower, a better timing pocket passer. So I think eventually he can get back to because he's young. So I think he'll recover. I think he'll recover. It's just going to be the mental game next year. The mental game. Okay, what can I do on my feet? What can I do? I can't run the ball necessarily on designed runs. I wouldn't do that. If I'm Sean Payton, I don't put him in a situation like that. Just because I don't think he's going to run to the full potential. And then you have that lingering issue in the back of your mind until once he's like proven it to himself and he's got that confidence back in his ankle, then give it 2 years. I think he'll be back to the Bo Nix that we kind of seen this year. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think it takes a long time for people to recover from an injury like that. Like mentally, it's one thing to physically be there, but mentally, like we saw Dak too. Dak would never run after he messed up his leg, and then it finally took a couple years. And this year he was a little bit more mobile and stuff like that. Like he used his legs when they needed him to. So I just think it's a big mental game.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't agree with you more. We would love to see Dak run the ball a little bit more. We would see an elusive quarterback out there just making moves. I mean, it's beautiful to see Drake May being able to close that out in the fourth quarter. Like, shout out to them. But shout out to the Broncos on a fun season. I think if you're a Denver Broncos fan, what a hell of a roller coaster. A lot of fourth quarter comebacks this year. Some fun Sundays, I'd say. And then for it to come to an end because you had to trot out a backup quarterback, it's unfortunate, but that's the league sometimes. Sometimes you just got to get lucky. We said this all year, JB. A little bit of luck kind of factors in to a lot of this stuff. And you go over to the Rams and Seattle game, like special teams kind of being a little bit of the reason on why you end up losing. That's unfortunate. But real quick, JB, before we move on to that game, let's go into the winning locker room for the New England Patriots. Mike Vrabel, what he's been able to do with this team, a team that didn't make the playoffs last year and was able to regroup, bring in a winning mindset, bring in Mike Vrabel, a player coach. These guys seem to just absolutely love this guy. Let's speak into this winning locker room right quick.
I promise you, we're going to let you celebrate. Okay, bring it in here, please. Warriors! Come on and play! Okay, listen to me. Sometimes you got to believe things before you can see them. Okay, you got to believe them before you can see them. And from the time that we started, you did everything that we asked you to do. Okay, we said everybody's journey to this league looks a little different. Just like everybody's journey to the Super Bowl looks a little different. Okay, we can enjoy this, and we will. You've earned the right. Okay, I appreciate everything that you guys have done. This staff, these players, our ownership, every single person has helped us get here. Okay, but you got to celebrate tonight, and then tomorrow it's how are we going to win the next game?
Okay.
You understand me? How is this group going to find a way to win one more game? We're going to pack our up. Okay, we're going to take our belief, we're going to take our identity, and we're going to go on the road. Okay, let's everybody just bring in here real tight. Let's get that.
I'm going to interrupt 1 sec and say we really have come a long way and want to give this game ball to a coach who's amazing and did something that's never been done before with all of you. No other team in the history of the NFL has gone 9-0 on the road.
Break them down, Ant. There you go.
Come on, Ant. Come on, Ant. Hey, come on, man. What you got? Come on, man. Hey, man. Oh, hey, bro. Hey, bro, I'm proud of y'all, boy, man. Let's go finish this. We got pass on me, pass on 3. 1, 2, 3. Pass!
Pats on me, Pats on 3. JB, 1, 2, 3, Pats. Woo-hoo-hoo. Braves got the boys buzzing, huh?
Oh yeah, I think Mike Vrabel, I think he's cementing his legacy as one of like the best coaches in the league. From what he's done, starting back on the Titans, Ryan Tannehill and those boys brought him to the AFC Championship, and then he does it again with the second team. Has a chance to be the first player ever to win a Super Bowl and as a player and a coach. Like Mike Vrabel, and another thing too, like when it came to the coaching, I didn't think Sean Payton called his best game either. A lot of it probably has to do with Stidham as well, but I just think Vrabel and what he's done and everything like that, like you have to put respect on Vrabel's name, like as one of the top coaches in the league from what he's done in Tennessee with Ryan Tannehill, and then from what he's done now. I mean, now with an MVP candidate at quarterback, and it's going to be that's going to be a relationship for the next decade or so. So, the AFC, it's got to go through the Patriots again. That's what it looks like. I mean, you got your quarterback, you got your
We're
coach.
all the way back.
Man, you got your quarterback, you got your coach, and you got a defense that I think that defense is always going to be good. And when you got like a guy like Vrabel in there that knows how to get talent in there and a good staff around him, this team's going to be competing every year. Even when we get Joe Burrow, even when we get Lamar, even when we get Pat Mahomes, like they're still going to be in it. They're still going to be competing, and this is just the beginning of Drake May too. So it's going to be around for we might see another run from the Patriots, like how we did back in the day. So we'll see.
Another dynasty for the New England Patriots. That's what it feels like. And JB, we keep saying Drake May. I don't want to look past the fact that this team has gotten here because of their defense. Like I said, at the last 3 games, the first game in the wild card, they only gave up 3 points, give up 16 to the Chargers, and then only give up 7 to the Broncos, a team that everybody keeps telling us, they got the easiest schedule. Now they got the easiest path, blah, blah, blah. But they have played the top 5 defenses in the league. Now, did Drake May perform like an MVP? No, but he played like the ultimate game manager. So shout out to the New England Patriots doing their thing. And now what I'm excited to see is, will that MVP type quarterback show up in the biggest stage of all time even after what these past 3 games have looked like for them offensively? Will they get it rolling with some beautiful weather? That's what I'm excited about, JB. But for Braves, like how you said, man, this team, do you remember back with the Titans whenever they ended up getting the number 1 seed and they had the most injuries of all time? That's when my little things went up and I was like, yo, Mike Vrabel might be the GOAT. Like to go, I think they had like 90 something roster changes during that whole run. They get the number 1 seed, and mind you, it was Ryan Tannehill that was their quarterback. That's crazy to even think about. They got the number 1 seed with him, and now you got Drake May, and we got to assume that they're always going to have some type of defense, man. Whether it's top 3, top 5, top 10, they are going to be in that conversation year after year. So, damn, it's got to suck for like Bills fans, right, that are in that division where it's like, now not only are people like, are you going to get over the hump to get into the Super Bowl? It's like, yo, we got to take a step back. Will the Bills even win their own division? Are they even the best? Are they even good enough to be one of the top teams in their division as of right now? Phillip Rivers had gotten an interview from the Buffalo Bills, and he has pulled his name from the hat, according to some sources on X. Not sure how valid. I just saw it right before we came on, but he just said he wasn't quite up for the job, like the interview process and all that, but not quite ready for the job in the NFL. He is a high school coach, hasn't got any experience at the collegiate level or in the NFL, but that's going to be fun to watch to see who ends up coaching the Buffalo Bills. But man, they got a tough one in front of them in their own division. So I guess I almost want to have a moment of silence for the Buffalo Bills on possibly not being able to win their own division for like the next 10 years yet again. The script has flipped. Poor Josh Allen, man. It's going to be a tough one. But JB, let's go over to this next game. The Rams went over to Seattle for the 3rd time this team played, splitting the games 1-1. Rams go down 27-31 to Seattle Seahawks, led by Sam Darnold, who went 25 for 36, 346 yards, 3 touchdowns, and most importantly, JB, as you said, coming into this game, no interceptions and a 69.4 completion rating. Kenneth Walker had 19 carries for only 62 yards and a touchdown, but his impact was 100% felt. And then Jackson Smith-Njigba, 12 targets, 10 receptions, 153 yards, 1 touchdown. Go off, man. Go off, King. Go off. And then also Cooper Kupp made his presence felt. He was targeted 6 times, got 4 receptions for 36 yards, but a very crucial catch for him. Matthew Stafford going 22 for 35, looking like a Carmelo Anthony stat line, 374 yards, 3 touchdowns, and also had no turnovers. Puka Nacua, the stars showed up in this game, JB. They absolutely did. He was targeted 14 times, 9 receptions, 165 yards, and 1 touchdown, followed by Devontae Adams, 6 targets on 4 receptions. He had 89 yards and a touchdown. All the stars came to play, JB, in this game. But I do got to ask you this before we get into this. watching this game, I couldn't help but to think about you. I looked at Adri and I was like, man, you know what's crazy? And she goes, what? Like the Seattle Seahawks, I don't want to disrespect them, but they have a similar roster to the Minnesota Vikings. You got a great defense. You got a great defensive mind. Then you look at the offense, and we can just start checking them off one by one, right? JSN, Justin Jefferson. Oh, they're like right there, right? Jordan Addison, Shaheed. They're like right there, right? Aaron Jones, Kenneth Walker, kind of like right there, right? The offensive line, I guess the offensive line play probably like right here, right? And then the only difference is the man that once was in that locker room that led them to 14 wins. He goes over to Seattle, gets the bag from them, gets the trust from them, and then they end up in the Super Bowl. JV, I just couldn't think past that. I'm like, wow, this is literally the Minnesota Vikings of last year. If they would have just ran it back one more time, we could possibly be seeing the Minnesota Vikings in this situation. Justin Jefferson, it's got to be jealous from what he's seen from JSN. I mean, Buddy had over 100 yards in the first half, JB. That should have been Justin Jefferson. We should have been seeing the gritty right now in the Super Bowl. How do we feel about Sam Darnold? And I know you were hyped about this. You even called the Seattle Seahawks getting to the Super Bowl. You said that Sam Darnold will play his best that we've seen. And you've been hitting the nail on the head. But now I just wonder, as a Vikings fan, it's got to tear you guys apart, right? The fact that you guys had this guy in the locker room, almost have similar rosters as far as talent goes. And now you're seeing them on their way to Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, San Francisco, California. That's tough.
It's tough. It's tough. I feel like our GM has he's made some good moves, and he's also made some really bad moves. And to have Sam Darnold, to have a guy that brought your team 14 wins when you didn't expect it last year, and to 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, really like his coming out party. I mean, yeah, that part sucks. That hurts, but it's like typical Vikings, So for me, like, this is about 100% about Sam Darnold. Like, I thought the Seahawks were going to win, but I thought it was going to be a different way. And I'm sure most of America thought, and they were ready to pounce at the narrative of Sam Darnold not being able to perform in the big game, because that's what Sam Darnold's been known for, right? Like, when the big games happen, he doesn't show up. Like, I can almost, like, for what Darnold did and how he did it, this was his best game of his career. And he led this team to the Super Bowl. He led this team to the Super Bowl against the MVP, against like the number one offense, one of the best offenses in the league. He outplayed. Not only did he outplay Stafford, I feel like, but he outplayed that defense as well. People are saying, "Oh, why'd they make it so easy on Darnold? This and that." Like, Darnold was just better. Darnold was better. Darnold was arguably the best player that entire game. Obviously, JSN and Puka went off, but for Darnold to do what he did, I think the narrative has officially flipped. We're waiting. My thing is like, okay, I believe in Darnold, but he's a little inconsistent. And then, when it comes to the big game, does he turn into a pumpkin? That's what my thing was, because I saw that last year, and we saw that early this year against like the Rams, and even that second game against the Rams, we were kind of questioning it, like, they needed some luck, but that, I think that overtime drive in the fourth quarter, or in overtime against the Rams, that second game, that was an opportunity that I think has stuck with Sam since then. Like, I can do this. I can beat anyone in this league. I can do it, and he did it. And like from there, I feel like it's just taken off from there. Like, yeah. And you can almost rewrite Sam's career at this point. And I was watching the Speakeasy pot. Obviously, I was watching that last night. And Shady is LaShawn McCoy is just hating. He's like, "Oh, Sam played a great game, this and that, but he's still inconsistent, this and that." Like, he wasn't giving him his flowers. Like, you got drafted to the Jets, 3rd or 4th overall, right? Jets have never, ever, 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 not even Joe Namath was a great quarterback. Joe Namath just brought him a Super Bowl back in like the 60s or something, and he still had more interceptions than touchdowns. The Jets organization has never had a good quarterback. So to go in there and then for the GM who released you or traded you to the Panthers, he said it just didn't work out. I fully believe in Sam. We just didn't have the pieces to help him. And he was 100% right about that. And then when you go to Carolina, they've had what you've had a decent career with Jake Delhomme. Obviously, Cam Newton's he's a special dude, but for what Sam Darnold was brought in Carolina, they had nothing. And for him to essentially start his career, like you can take this back when he goes to the 49ers, he sat behind Brock Purdy, learned how to be a pro. He set his first year. Let's call it this past 3 years. Set his first year, set his whole year. Boom, gets a minimum contract in Minnesota, comes out, performs like how he did. And you can see the growth in his game, the growth from how he's progressed as a Viking. At the end of the season, those 2 games, I was like, okay, against the Lions for the division, that's his biggest game that he's ever been in. And he didn't play very good. He didn't play very good at all. And then, okay, goes to Rams the next game, goes to the Rams. He's on the road, gets killed. That was his first time experiencing that. So these are all like stepping stones into where we're at now. Like he's earned his confidence. He's a very confident, driven quarterback. Like if his confidence is low, I think he's not playing very good. But like I think he's built his confidence just from this season of what he can do and who he can beat, and it just carried over into the playoffs. And now this is you reap the benefits of it. And like Minnesota, we should be kicking ourselves in the butt, dude, because like we let a guy go. And we paid him money, but we didn't care if he left or not. It's like we threw out something, here, take this.
Yeah.
But Seattle, it just made more sense. And we probably would be making a little bit of a run right now, but I don't know if we still would have made the Super Bowl. I don't know if we're good enough to beat the Rams. Another great thing in the fourth quarter, I mean, when the Rams had a chance to take the lead, they go for it on 4th and goal. And I think it was Devon Witherspoon was covering whoever Stafford threw to. Devon Witherspoon literally was running the route. Like, these are great corners, man. And Stafford had nowhere to throw it. He essentially threw to Devon Witherspoon at the end right there. So the defense, the secondary on the Seahawks is one of the best. And that's one thing that the Vikings do lack is a little bit of a secondary. So that's the big difference. That was a big difference in that game. That last drive that Stafford could have took, to the end zone. They go up by 3 points. Who knows what happens after that? But Darnold played great. I think the narrative has switched from, okay, I'm seeing ghosts. I can't get it done in the big game, to the narrative is now, okay, at least I made a Super Bowl. This is the narrative for Darnold, and I think it's going to change. Darnold. And after he wins the Super Bowl.
The narrative right now that's spinning around on TV on the big networks is that they're putting a lot of the blame on the defense of the Rams rather than
I don't like that.
Sam Darnold.
That's what people have been saying.
Yeah, JB, I just let me run this by you real quick.
I don't like that at all.
Questions, all right? This is where I'm confused. Like, okay, so right before halftime, right, the Rams offense gets a chance to go down and score, and they go 3 and out, right? And then what happens? Seahawks on this crazy drive go down and end up scoring a touchdown. Is that really on the defense or is that on the offense? The defense was just on the field for what felt like forever right before they got the ball back for the Rams. Got them in great field position. The Rams go 3 and out, and then Seattle goes down and score. Same thing in the fourth. They give the offense a chance to win, and they can't convert. JB, they have that deep pass to Puka that gets them into the red zone. And then the next 2 plays, what was it? A fade route to Puka on the right side. Second play, a fade route to Devontae Adams on second down, and now you're sitting on 3rd and 10. Like, what? Not to throw shots at Sean McVay here, but like, come on, what are we doing? We're just thinking that we could just throw it up and we're gonna go get it. Like, let's be creative. Everything that you've been creative about all your entire career, what are you known for? Is creativity. And you go 1st and 2nd down fade routes or go routes to Devontae and Puka, which I like my odds 50-50, but ultimately, like, come on, man. I can't back-to-back play calls. That's crazy, especially after, I mean, these boys were outside. Puka was having himself a day, but Devontae really wasn't having much success out there against these corners. I didn't understand it, and I hate that the narrative right now is, or the narrative that they're trying to paint, specifically Dan Orlowski on ESPN is kind of pushing this whole thing on the Rams defense. But it's like, yo, how many opportunities do you want to give an offense with Hall of Famers? Right? Like we praise Sam Darnold, damn, Matthew Stafford so much about everything that he's accomplished. And I mean, this guy, honestly, we got to look at Matthew Stafford like, what the hell? This might be the best roster you've ever had. And for you to come up short with the ball on your hands to go win the game and you don't, like Shady's big on this whole, like, this is losing mentality. Like, now we got to think about, like, is that just what Matthew Stafford is? Outside that one good year, if you remove that one good year, Matthew Stafford, is he just a loser?
I don't think
You know what I
that.
mean?
Yeah.
Bro, like, this is like they're pushing this on the Rams defense. The Rams defense gave them multiple opportunities to go take leads, and they couldn't do it. They had the chance to go up there at the end in the red zone, 4 plays, and had no success. Come on, man.
Yep.
We can't put this on the defense. That Rams defense, it doesn't matter what it looked like the past to end the season. They might have been one of the worst, but come playoffs, they gave this team a chance. Even the week 1. I mean, the wild card in the playoffs. Why was the Rams offense struggling so bad? Oh, but it was the defense's fault. Defense kept them in the game. Next round, same thing. Like we still hadn't seen the potential that we've been waiting for from the Rams offense, and they couldn't get it done. And I just hate that the Rams defense is the one that's getting all the criticism right now when it should ultimately be on those 3 Hall of Famers in Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams, and Puka Nacua, and Williams in the backfield. Like, come on, man. It felt like the Rams had control of that game most of the time. And for them it sucks to come out of it and think like, wow, I still feel like the Rams are the best team in the league. Honestly, I don't know that the best team won. It's just the hot hand one. At least in my eyes, it seems like that. The Rams had the chance to go win and they didn't. And it's
They had the
unfortunate.
chance,
Now,
but you got stopped. At the end of the day, like, you got stopped. Like, defense was like Seahawks, their corners, their DBs were all over it.
yeah,
You know, they shut down that 4th down play. They shut them down in the red zone right there, and that was ultimately what sealed it. I mean, the Seahawks defense and they're going to be causing that same sort of stress on the Patriots receivers too. So I don't know, man. I just think the Seahawks are the most complete team. And for Darnold to do what he did, go pound for pound, round for round with Stafford and that offense, and put up his best performance, I think, yet as a pro. You can criticize the defense on the Rams, saying, "Oh, they were too soft. Oh, they made it too easy for Darnold." But dude, you're in the AFC Championship game. I mean, the NFC Championship game. Like, I don't understand how you can make it easy. They might have gave him like some easy reads and stuff. I don't know. Put more pressure on the receivers. Be more physical. Play more man to man. I don't know. Do something. But Darnold beat him. And there was never a moment where it looked like Darnold was not going to do what he essentially wanted to do. Like, I don't know. I felt
was just moving.
Yeah, I just felt like he could do whatever he wanted, and there was no answer for it. So he was throwing dimes. He was running bootlegging to the left, bootlegging to the right. He was accurate. Like, we're not giving him enough credit for being super accurate. I mean, any sort of, like, if he was off in the slightest bit, like, some of these passes could have been picked, but they were just perfect ball placement. That Cooper Kupp crossing route that got the first down that they were going to challenge. I mean, that's a beautiful throw just right in front of you. Like, and the defender's hanging on you. Like, the defender is on his hips. Like, he could have batted that down. It could have been a pick if it was thrown behind. Like, Darnold made every single throw that he needed to make, and everything worked out, like, for Darnold and those boys. And I don't know. I think Darnold just was the best player in that game. Kenneth Walker was probably the second best player for me. I mean, of course, JSN as well, but Kenneth Walker was a huge difference. Not only in the backfield, but running the ball too. Like, I don't know, man. The dude's a beast. He's low center.
He's so shifty.
Yeah, so shifty, low center of gravity, hard to bring down, physical. Like, I don't know, man. For me,
there was He probably should have gotten tackled in the backfield maybe about 4 or 5 times. And man, bro is so shifty. I don't know if you remember that one play where I think it was 45 linebacker from the Rams. I mean, just legit, it looked like a crossover, like a basketball crossover. And bro was just stuck in there, deer in headlights. But JB, Sam Darnold was pressured. Take this as you will. Sam Darnold was pressured on 35% of his dropbacks against the Rams, completing 5 of his 11 pass attempts for 102 yards and a career high 3 touchdowns. His first multi-touchdown game under pressure with Seattle. Across Darnold's first 2 games against the Rams this season, Darnold threw 0 such touchdowns and 3 interceptions under pressure. Darnold was also efficient on deep passes of 20 or more air yards, completing 3 of his 5 such attempts for 110 yards. JB, so they're saying they made it easy for Sam Darnold, but the numbers tell us no. The numbers told us that when they brought pressure, Sam Darnold performed his best. So now argue that, McCoy. Argue that. When we say it was too easy, but yet they brought multiple pressure and he was successful in that, like, you got to give the man his flowers. Sam Darnold completely flipping his storyline on its head. That is dope, man. Shout out to Sam Darnold doing the damn thing. Shout out to you, JB, calling it. You've been stuck on this Seattle team from the beginning, going there to end the season since they finished with the W in San Francisco. You kind of said, hey, I got some faith in Sam Darnold. I think he'll get us there. And he ultimately has. Jackson Smith-Njigba going 10 of 12 targets for a team high 153 yards receiving and a touchdown in the conference championship game. What'd you think about JSN, man? Maybe the best receiver in the league?
Yeah, I think the top 4, like, you got to put JSN, Puka, and then I think Jamar Chase is still up there, and of course Jefferson. I think those guys are by far and away the best in the league. JSN is just he's physical, he's fast, he's twitchy, he runs really good route. He can run any route. He's got speed, everything you need as a receiver. Yeah, he's one of the best. He's one of the best for sure. And that one-handed snag on the sideline, that was clean. Like, that was clean. That was arguably that was the best catch of the game, I thought. I mean, there were some really good catches made all game. He made a couple good ones. The one where he's running that, like, skinny post and the safety comes over and just knocks him out, still holds on to the ball. Another really good throw. Darnold just slung it right there. It was a perfect throw, and he made the catch and took the hit. I mean, man, yeah, Jason, like, he's there, but Puka's just as good too. Puka is just as good when it comes to running any route. His yards after the catch, his hands, what he does in the run game. So we saw 2 of the best. That was 2 of the best, and JSN's just, yeah, man. Christian Gonzalez, he's gonna have his hands full with that. And then the thing is with JSN is the way that they scheme him to get open. It's not that he just lines up on the outside and runs around and he's open. You put the dude in motion. It's the way that you scheme him open. You know, that's a huge thing, and it really brings out the best of some of your players. If you have an offensive minded coach that understands that, it's a huge difference. Like, that's what the Rams do so well. They scheme guys open when they want to get them open, and the same thing with Seattle. They scheme them open. They scheme their best players to get open. So, yeah, it's tough.
And JSN coming into this game, he recorded at least 7 receptions in 12 of his 18 games played in 2025, tied for the most of any player in the NFL this season, alongside Puka Nacua. JSN averaged 7 receptions per game in 2025 and accounted for 36.2% of the Seahawks receptions. In his 2 games against the Rams in 2025, JSN averaged 8.5 receptions for 100.5 receiving yards while scoring a touchdown per game, JB. That's nuts. This dude has been the focal point all season for the Seattle Seahawks team, and now he's reaping the benefits of his hard work, man. Shout out to Jason, Kenneth Walker, Sam Darnold. Shout out to this whole squad, man. This Seattle's team has been absolutely fun to watch, and now we have a matchup of the ages, a rematch from what they say, a rematch that Seattle Seahawks fans always kind of go back and think about because it was one of the worst decisions of all time. Pete Carroll going for it at the 1-yard line and deciding, not going for it, but running a play and it not being a running play to Marshawn Lynch, causing
Russell Wilson to throw a pick to lose the game to Malcolm Butler, who none of us, I don't know what Malcolm Butler did after that, but I think he went to Tennessee and then kind of fell off. But damn, man, yo, Malcolm Butler didn't deserve that. I don't know why. Come on, you gotta be better than that.
Throwing
He didn't deserve
shots,
that Super
dude.
Bowl champ. Yeah, my bad. My
Just,
bad,
just say
Malcolm.
this is a revenge game. It's a revenge game. It's what it is, and I think the
If
Seahawks are going to
we
get the
remember,
revenge.
if we remember, whenever McDonald came over to Seattle as the head coach, they kind of what was being reported is that he took down a bunch of stuff around the building that gave props to the regime before the Legion of Boom. He wanted to bring his own. He wanted to put his own blueprint on the city, on the locker room, in the building, and that's exactly what he's done, man. This team has flipped the script. I mean, you go from Geno Smith to squeaking into the playoffs to now getting into a Super Bowl after last year's rough season, not making the playoffs and now getting there. JB, I mean, it feels like this Seattle's team is going to be on the top of the NFC conference for a while. Yeah.
I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be really good. I still think that there's some other really good. I think the window's closed for some teams, but I think the Seahawks will be competing for the next few years. Like their window's open. This is their chance to win. Same thing as we talked about, like with the Patriots. Like their window's opening up, and I think both teams are going to be contenders for the next 3 years, 4 years or so. It's what are you going to do with those opportunities? I think the NFC, you still have some guys coming up. We don't know what Chicago's going to do, if they're going to get better. Detroit is still, you got to take them serious. And at least from like Minnesota's like history, we always have like a down year and then we make another comeback, where we're like winning 12, 13, 14 games. So I think there's still a lot of competition in the NFC. And I don't think Stafford and the Rams, I don't think they're going anywhere. I think he might want to run it back for at least one more year. So I think the 49ers window is closed. I don't think they're making it back. I think they're
JB,
they're done. They're done.
JB, I just looked at my TV and they're playing highlights of Sam Darnold back when he was with the Jets. Do you remember that game whenever he said I saw ghosts?
Yeah.
Do you know who it was against?
The Patriots, wasn't it? Yeah.
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 How ironic. How
Yeah.
ironic. The last time this guy played the New England Patriots saw ghost. Saw ghost. Now will you see that at Levi Stadium, man? This game's gonna be dope. The temperatures are supposed to be perfect football weather. After all the mess that we've seen in the playoffs from home field advantage. I mean, home field advantage has kind of played its part. Not only that, I mean, didn't play its part. It gave Denver a chance. Let's just say that it did give Denver a chance. I didn't have you on for that. What do you think about the criticism towards Sean Payton about not taking the points? You've been a stickler about taking the damn points all season. You and Earl, every time Earl would come on, you guys would kind of have the same
That's exactly
sentiment
why I
about
said it.
everything.
That's exactly why I say it. And you got your backup quarterback in, and you have a chance to get 3 points right there. Why are you going for it? I just don't. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. And that eventually, I mean, essentially, it costed him. Like that was one of the other biggest plays in the game. That's what I was talking about Sean Payton getting out coached. Just I just don't understand that. And Ben Johnson did that like last week too. One of the first drives didn't take his 3 points. Like I don't understand why you're not taking your first 3 points at the beginning of the game. It blows my mind. I just don't understand it. I don't understand getting the points that you need to get, because then the rest of the game you're going to be chasing points if you're in a close tight game. And that's what they were doing. They were chasing points. It could have been 10-10. It could have gone into overtime. It would have been a completely different game. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, yeah, I agree with you.
I
This is
don't
Sam
understand
Darnold
it.
post. This is your boy, the Red Rocket, getting his flowers here. Let's listen in.
So how does it feel for you to prove all the doubters wrong to be heading to the Super Bowl?
That doesn't matter to me. I just come to work every single day with these guys. These guys in this locker room, that's what it's about to me, man. The way that we've come to work ever since April in OTAs, training camp, one day at a time, and we're here, and we did it.
You're here, you're not done.
Oh, man. It's hard not to root for this dude. He just seems to say the right stuff, too.
he's I don't know, man. Like you just throw away like those first 4 years or whatever of his career, and you look what he's done the last three. What he's done, he went to an organization, like a competent organization, and like there's this dude he's rewritten his career. He's rewritten his career, and this dude is making it. He's the first quarterback in the 2018 draft class to make it to the Super Bowl. Lamar was in there. Josh Allen was in there. Somebody else, I don't remember. It don't even matter. But Sam Darnold, like literally these last 3 years, man. Sam Darnold, you can't ask for like just the way that his career has developed to sit, behind Kyle Shanahan, learn behind Kyle Shanahan, then go to a competent organization in Minnesota that actually knows what they're doing, and perform like how he did, and then go to another, stable, competent organization, and it's just this is what you get. This is what you get, and this is what he's probably always been, and he probably could have. If he would have just got drafted to the right situation instead of the Jets, and that's why I think that's why Dante Moore doesn't want to go in the draft, because Dante Moore is going to be a Jet if he gets drafted, and it's the quarterback hellhole. Like you don't want to go there, 100%. Like if I have that chance to make a decision, do I want to stay in college another year and make $5 million or whatever, or do I want to play for the Jets who are going to ruin my career before it even starts? No, thanks. I'll go back to college one more year.
Like, I'm gonna make that $5 million real quick. Yeah.
Definitely. I'm not going to the Jets. I don't think there's a quarterback. I don't think there's a situation. I don't know. For me, it's just like the Jets are bad. The Jets don't know how to handle a quarterback. They don't know how to get a quarterback. They don't know how to develop a quarterback. They ruined Zach Wilson too. Jets are bad. Good thing we don't have many Jets fans on this thing.
Yeah, just a couple of teams catching strays on today's show. JB, let's listen to Mike McDonald on what he had to say to the critics of Sam Darnold.
Blessed, just really blessed that we got a heck of a group and a great organization and a great owner and the best fans. So it's humbling too, and it's just pretty awesome. It's just I don't know, I'm kind of speechless. But just really, really proud of our guys. It's a team win. We didn't play our best game on defense. We made enough plays to win. You got to give them a lot of credit. They had a great game plan. Did some things we weren't ready for. We had to adjust again. Par for the course for their offense, and it's a team win. Special teams had to pick it up. The drive at the end on offense was just tremendous. I thought Clint called a great game, and then you can't talk about the game without talking about our quarterback. I mean, he just shut a lot of people up tonight, so I'm really happy for him. We're just blessed.
Shut a lot of people up.
Oh yeah,
really happy.
Another thing, Clint Kubiak was the last Vikings offensive coordinator, and now he's going to be a Super Bowl. So all these, dude, we just suck. I mean, Clint Kubiak, he's going to the Super Bowl. Darnold's going to the Super Bowl. Diggs is going to the Super Bowl. Garrett Bradbury, who we thought was just the worst offensive lineman center of all time. Like, we have some issues, and we have some issues of letting go of talent. I mean, Daniil Hunter, I don't know how we let him get out of the building. I guess you just can't pay everyone. But, yeah, I think we need to get rid of our GM, Quessy. He ain't cooking.
Oh, no.
And
it's the GM.
Yeah, I think it's the GM because he's the one making most of these personnel decisions, and he hasn't hit in the draft. He's hit on a few guys in the draft. But to let some of these guys go, Diggs was already out, in 2018, 2019, whatever. But just some of the player personnel decisions, Daniil Hunter's a huge one. Darnold obviously is the biggest one. We let go of Clint Kubiak, and then that's when we hired KOC. But they're making a Super Bowl, and Daniil Hunter's having runs in the playoffs. He's still getting 15 sacks a season. So I don't know. For me, it's just misran. But I was gonna share that with you earlier until my computer took a dump on me. But yeah, I was gonna share that clip to you.
For as much as I've been giving you crap about Sam Darnold being with the Dallas Cowboys, there's a gentleman on the other side, Mr. DeMarcus Lawrence, founder of the Hot Boys in Dallas. He said this before the season. Let's listen in, JB.
Dallas is my home. I made my home there. My family lives there. I'm forever going to be there. But, I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there. So, yeah. We here.
We're here. DeMarcus Lawrence, welcome to the Seahawks. Thanks for joining us.
Damn, let's hear that one more
I'm
time.
not going to win a Super Bowl there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Gosh,
He's
man.
right.
That hurts. The fact that he was right, nail on the head. Now Des Bryant's sharing his text chain showing that in fact DeMarcus Lawrence was not only saying that to the camera, he was saying that to just about everybody that he knew. So shout out to DeMarcus Lawrence. I got Hot Boys merch. I bought some merch. I was lost in the sauce too on that defense. I remember shouting top 5 defense from anywhere to anybody that would listen at that time when Dallas had just a small little run of great defense. I don't know if you remember. Never mind. We can't go down that one. We can't go down that road. That's tough, man. Tough, but good for DeMarcus Lawrence. Obviously, he was right, and he's going to be right for what feels like forever. JB, if you're a Cowboys fan, I don't know how optimistic we are looking into next year. I think this is the one year where we kind of have to go back, sit back, and just take it for what it is. Take it for what it is. But of course, the closer we get to September, the delusion starts to kick in. So I'm sure I'll flip gears come closer to the NFL season. But man, we have 2 weeks, JB, of not a lot of stuff to talk about except for 2 teams. That would be the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots, who will host the Lombardi in Levi Stadium come 2 weeks, JB. We're going to have a little bit of fun with some Pro Bowl activities. There'll be a couple Pro Bowl. There's going to be flag football. What do we think about flag football? Flag football here in Roswell, New Mexico. Pretty big deal. Pretty big deal. I raised my hand. They shared this link that said, hey, prepare yourself for Memorial Day weekend as we kick off the Sling It and Fling It, right? Sling It and Fling It. It used to be the Glory Days, one of the biggest flag football tournaments hosted here in Roswell, New Mexico on Memorial Day weekend. I raised my hand. I said, can we be a part of it? We like flag football. And now the NFL is not only going to have a flag football game, but flag football is going to be a part of the Olympics. And there's been several collegiate schools that have added flag football as an actual sport to the college football world, starting with the women's sports. I think that's pretty dope. The women will now be able to play collegiate flag football. That'd be fun. There's some chicks out there, man, that got some sauce. They got some juice. I remember when I was in high school, JB, I think it was our senior year. I played co-ed, and we played this team from Artesia. And, bro, this chick almost juked me out of my shoes. I remember I had to push her out of bounds. What a jerk. She was about to juke me out of my shoes. I remember my ankles got tight, and I was just like, no, sir, let me just throw this lady out there.
Yeah, do that sometimes.
She was some track star from Artesia. After I ended up finding out, they ended up blowing the doors out of us. But yeah, that girl was a track star, almost juked me out of my shoes. I was about to be on her highlight tape for the rest of her life, but I said, no, sir, I cannot allow this. And I pushed her out of bounds. They didn't throw a flag. They probably should have, though, but it is what it is. But it's cool to see that flag football will be kind of slowly taking over the collegiate world and starting off with women in that sports world. So shout out to them. But JB, any final thoughts before we let these beautiful people enjoy the cold, snowy weather that we have here in Roswell, New Mexico?
Man, it's been a good playoff. Like the way that the playoffs have played out in the AFC side. I mean, you got all these young quarterbacks and everything like that. So it's been sloppy play. We've seen good defenses play. In the NFC, kind of the same thing. I think you see a little bit more like potential out of some of these young quarterbacks. I mean, the Caleb Williams, obviously what Sam Darnold's doing now, like he looks like he's going to enter like a top 10 quarterback conversation, especially if he gets a Super Bowl. You still got, a lot of good quarterbacks in the league. You still got really good defenses. I think what we've seen now is like, because of the quarterback play is like, it's not what it used to be, but it can be. It's like, it's changing the game a little bit, but you're getting better defenses. You're getting better defensive play. And that's something I think the league was kind of like, it seemed like it was just everything favored the offense, the way that the games were called, everything like that. I don't even really know where I'm going with this conversation, but it's just like, it's just been an exciting, it's been an exciting year. We didn't expect any of this.
Now that you say that, like, are we not surprised that it's two quarterbacks with one has a rookie contract and then the other has a team friendly deal at the quarterback position? Like, if anything, if we're learning anything from this, is it's like, yeah, if your quarterback is getting paid 60 mil, hence Dak Prescott, you got to show up and ball because
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to afford all the pieces that some of these other teams have that have team
Oh, for sure.
friendly salaries. Like, so
For
that's why
sure.
this window for the New England Patriots, they got to take advantage of it because ultimately, Will Drake may do what Tom Brady did and take team friendly deals to allow success to continue in New England. We can't look past that, JB. That is one thing
For
that we
sure.
definitely got to play close attention to, and it's not by surprise that these two quarterbacks are in the Super Bowl considering their salaries. So shout out to the salary cap gurus and all the gymnastics that happen. Sometimes salary caps seem fake. And it definitely feels fake, especially whenever you're seeing other teams do every move possible, pay whoever they want, and then your team's supposed to be the richest owner and whatnot with this big old ego, la la la, but doesn't like to sling money around. I don't know if is the cap real or is it not, but we'll be back tomorrow to react to everybody else's reaction to this past weekend and start to get over to the Super Bowl festivities. We'll try to get a Seahawks fan and a Patriots fan on here to kind of see what their feeling is going into the Super Bowl, and then we should have a little bit of fun introducing a couple other sports into the world. JB, there is a big boxing match happening this weekend. Teofimo Lopez against Shakur Stevenson. That'll be a fun match. For the Ring Magazine belt, I believe. And then this past weekend, Sean O'Malley got a massive victory over Song Yudong. And then Justin Gaethje, big win over Paddy Pimblett, the Englishman. So shout out to Team USA, both getting W's this weekend in the UFC, and then obviously capping it off with two wonderful games, two great games in the NFL. But we'll be back tomorrow, 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. I appreciate all the X followers showing love. I appreciate those jumping in and out on X or on YouTube and Instagram. And then we made our little debut on Facebook and YouTube. We made our debut on Instagram. Don't know what the numbers look like. Don't look great as of right now. But anyways, if you jumped on, I appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow, 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. Don't forget, pick up the phone. Let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts. Let us spill. Speak out loud. 575-808-9307. We'll see you tomorrow. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS. See ya.